the Giants and the Patriots, like the two teams I hate the most, playing each other twice in my lifetime now is like horrifying. Where I have to root for the Giants. You know, I don't want it. I don't want this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a conversation with Colin. I'm Greg, and this is my roommate, Colin. Now, sometimes Colin says crazy stuff. So every Tuesday and Thursday, I reach into my random topic pile, pull one out, toss it at him. We have a conversation for your amusement. If you like that, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to us here on YouTube. Colin, are you ready?
Yes.
Cleared his throat. This is going to be a serious one. Today's topic is the Super Bowl. Now, Colin, we're not talking... Now, of course, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't caught on yet, these are filmed in giant blocks, usually months out. I'd assume that the Super Bowl this year is the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Chicago Enforcers. So we won't talk about who's actually in the Super Bowl. Okay. But you have opinions about the Super Bowl. We've talked about this. Tell me a little bit about your opinions about the Super Bowl.
So, I think the Super Bowl is fine. It's a fine game. It's a fine,
the NFL's happy that they have your seal of fineness.
You know, the AFC and the NFC play each other, and this is great. It makes sense, except for the fact that it's in a random city every year. Now, this is my huge hang-up with NFL playoffs in particular, and I understand that this is a tradition with bowl games, even in college, but I think that the Super Bowl loses its aura and becomes this kind of generic garbage that I really don't even want to watch. I don't even really care about the Super Bowl every year. I care much more about like everything leading up to the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Because no one cares about the game at the game. And if you're going to play in Jacksonville with the Packers playing, you know, I don't know, the Bills, that's never going to happen.
What a terrible Super Bowl.
Then who in Jacksonville cares about that game? It's accessible to people who have a lot of money, which is, you know, fine. It's accessible to a lot of people in the league. Players bring their people, and then people that just go to Super Bowls, companies and stuff like that. My whole contention with the Super Bowl is that the team with a better record should play at home. And that would fix everything I have, like all the problems I have with the Super Bowl would be fine. And I understand that there are arguments against that, but I just don't think it makes any sense to play in a neutral spot when everything that you do leading up to that, winning the division or getting a wild card spot, if you play at home or away in the divisional round, in the conference championships or whatever, has everything to do with how good you played in the regular season.
Right.
And then suddenly it doesn't matter. Yeah. Suddenly it's just a neutral playing field. And I don't like that. And I don't like that it's always in a dome or always in the South. We don't get any interesting weather conditions.
And now that's the argument, right? That if New England, in some foreign world where the Patriots could go to the Super Bowl, they go to the Super Bowl. You go to Foxborough in January or February. It's snow and it's horrible and blah blah. And you're playing Miami or whatever.
They can't play each other.
I know. I'm just fucking throwing it out there. Can you just roll with the goddamn punch for a change? Fucking making me look like an idiot on YouTube. But you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know that a Southern team would have to come to the North and yada yada yada. That's never held any water for me, right? Because that happens in the regular season. And being a Chicago Bears fan, I see the Chicago Bears lose all the time. And, oh, man, it's Bears weather out there. And then the Dolphins do come in and they ruin the perfect season. It's like, well, great. Right. Awesome.
Yeah, I think you have to step up. I mean, I think about, for instance, the Giants, who I hate, played the Patriots, who I hate even more, twice. And both of those times, the Giants were bubble teams, the wildcard teams that had to play away all of these games, and they won. They won in the wildcard round, they won in the division round, they won in the conference championship, including beating teams with bye weeks and all these things, and they were on a roll, right?
Yeah.
But then they should have went to New England to play the game, but instead they had this neutral playing field where suddenly, nothing they really did mattered in the regular season. The fact that they barely made the playoffs and that they had to fight away. It's suddenly they get to a point where it's just it doesn't matter anymore. Now it's an even playing field. Meanwhile, the 2007 season when the Patriots were 16-0, then won 2 playoff games, so they're 18-0. They play in a neutral playing field. It's we were 18-0.
Yeah.
We should play at home. And I'm saying I hate the fucking Patriots. But I'm saying that's what's fair. That's what's right.
It seems to me not only is it rewarding the team for whoever gets home field advantage, it's rewarding them for playing so well. It's also rewarding the city, right? These are things where your city gets swept up in how awesome this is that we're doing this, or we're going this far. You'd want to see those local businesses be rewarded, and I think it's one of the problems right now with the NFL. Right, is that I totally agree with you that when you watch the Super Bowl with people who go to the Super Bowl, it is a super generic event for them, and I understand the idea that let's say. New England goes on this run, and for 3 years the Super Bowl's in Foxborough or whatever. It's that sucks, but that should encourage other teams to be, other cities to make their teams better, and it should encourage real fans to go to them, not be priced out of this. You know what I mean? Mike Mitchell, huge 49ers fan. If the 49ers go all the way, he can't go there. He can't afford that plane ticket.
Yeah, and he has season tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is where everything kind of falls apart, and I think there are a couple of solutions to the problem because, first of all, I think that they should change the playoff format completely in the NFL, and I've talked to you about this before too. I think more teams should be in the playoffs. So, and I think that comes from like my hockey sensibilities, where more than half the teams make the playoffs because I think that's what's exciting. And so, first of all, I think that the top 2 teams in every division should make the playoffs. And my first instinct was that then those 2 teams should play each other, but then you can't have a Jets-Patriots like super hardcore rivalry championship game. It would always happen in the first round. So instead, you would take the division winners of all 8 divisions would play at home against all the wild card teams in their conferences or whatever. So the team with the best record would play the team with the worst record, and so on and so forth. And then you'd rematch all of the records over and over again, and that should culminate in a Super Bowl where the best record plays at home. And if they're both teams are 12-4, then you have to start like cutting down. Do they play each other in the regular season? Who had a better record against their conference or their division? There are ways to solve this problem, and I completely agree with you that the economic ramifications of the Super Bowl go to the same cities over and over again. Green Bay is never going to benefit from the fact that they have an amazing team.
Right.
Like regularly have an amazing team, and they're not going to go. Obviously, they were bounced this year, but the Vikings would never benefit from that. The Seahawks are never going to benefit from that. Even those teams, Seahawks play in a dome, but like they're never going to like say like let's go to Seattle.
Right.
They're starting to get a little bit better now because the Niners are going to they're trying to get the Super Bowl here when they move to Santa Clara.
Trying to get it in Santa Clara,
yeah,
not here.
And there's a big difference. And it's going to be at the Meadowlands where the Jets play, and so it's entirely possible that I've been to the Meadowlands, and anyone who knows it can be cold as shit there. So.
Yeah.
That will be cool, but you're right. Like, I want home team fans at these games going nuts, going wild. I want those season ticket holders at the game. I want the fans to be rewarded for their fandom. It's impossible under the current system to do that. I understand it's a money situation, and I understand and appreciate that. But if you have a bye week in between the championships game and the Super Bowl, which you do anyway, that's plenty of time for the community to get ready, for the stadium to get ready, for everyone to accommodate the people at the hotel.
By the time you're getting down to like the Final Four, you're telling me you can't start planning like, okay, this is coming to one of your cities. What do we need to do?
You can even figure out, depending on who wins, like it's only coming to 2 places. I mean, like, with the Falcons and the Niners playing, well, like, looking at the record of the Patriots means that no matter who wins that game, it would go to New England, and so like there's ways to get around this. You just think about it, which might be hard for some people that want to make excuses as to why the system exists. But I think that the system's unfair. It's just so think about a Seahawks game where that crowd is going nuts, the 12th man is going crazy, the place is loud as hell.
Yeah.
That's an advantage that if the Seahawks can put together 13 or 14 wins and then get all the way through the playoffs, that they should have that advantage against a 9-7 team that barely made the playoffs. Leveling the playing field makes no sense. And, so the other solution, kind of the meeting halfway, and I was talking to Mike Mitchell about this, was what if they had the neutral zone, the neutral spot still, not the neutral zone, but the neutral spot in Miami or Arizona or whatever, the normal places that always benefit from the Super Bowl. But instead of like just like selling tickets, it's like the season ticket holders from both of those, those cities get first dibs. Or you have to have an address within that state or something like that. Just something to like draw those people in, and then you get the economic ramifications of those people coming, but at least it's fans of the teams, because I am so sick of watching these boring fucking Super Bowls. The most exciting games are the championship games. And that shouldn't be the case. The Super Bowl should be more exciting than the championship games. But when we watch the Niners play the Falcons in Atlanta, tomorrow, that's going to be a more exciting game, a more,
people will be into that way more than they will be into the Super Bowl.
It's just like so anticlimactic. It's like I watch Super Bowl every year because I watch football so much and I love it. And I feel like I have to watch the Super Bowl. But there are years where I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about these teams. I'm sick of the Patriots. I don't want to see them anymore. I'm sick of the Giants. The Giants and the Patriots, like the 2 teams I hate the most, playing each other twice in my lifetime now is like horrifying. Where I have to root for the Giants. Sorry. I don't want it. I don't want this.
It's okay. NFL, please fix the Super Bowl. Look at this. Look at this face. How can you say no to that face?
It would be nice if the Jets made this.
God knows everyone else has. Just be nice to him for a change. Well, Colin, that's a good conversation, I think. What did you think, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know in the comments below. Then leave future topic suggestions there. Like the video, subscribe to us, follow us on Twitter. If you got an Instagram, take a photo of yourself watching this video and be like, I'm watching this video. We don't have Instagram, though, so we can't help you there. Until then, have a conversational day.
But like if someone took a shot at Wayne Gretzky, Marty McSorley would punch you in your face.